In this video, we will be looking at how to write the formulae of ionic compounds. You will have already learned in this topic that ionic compounds are made up of metals and nonmetals and are held together by strong electrostatic forces. Overall, these compounds are neutral, meaning they have no overall charge. In order to write the formulae of these compounds, you should know the charges of the common ions. Let's start by having a look at a simple example of sodium chloride. You will know that sodium has a 1 plus charge and chloride has a 1 minus charge. Therefore, these charges are equal and opposite. Therefore, we can just write the formula as NaCl, as the charges cancel each other out. The overall net charge is 0. It is not always that simple, and an alternative method for writing a formula is the swap and drop method. This can be useful in an exam as it is an efficient method of writing a formula when you have different and opposite charges. Sodium oxide is a good example. Sodium has a 1 plus charge and oxide has a 2 minus charge. To use the swap and drop method, you can follow the following sequence. Having written the formula for each ion, drop the charges down to the subscript position and swap them over. Remove the positive and negative charges, and then put the ions together. So now we have the formula for sodium oxide as Na2O. We have 2 sodium ions, each with a plus charge, and 1 oxide ion with a 2 minus charge. These charges add up to 0. Finally, you will need to check for brackets, but we will come on to this in the worked examples. Make sure you write your numbers as subscript, which means just below the line of text. In these worked examples, you are asked to find the formulae of the following ionic compounds. For magnesium bromide, write out the ions. Magnesium, being a group 2 element, has a charge of 2 plus, and bromide has a charge of 1 minus, as it is a group 7 element. These charges are different and opposite, which means we can use the swap and drop method. So, swap them over and drop them down. Remove the charges. There are no brackets needed here, so the formula is MgBr2. This scores you 1 mark. Let's double check the formula is correct. We have 1 magnesium ion with a charge of 2 plus, which is cancelled out by 2 bromide ions, each with a charge of 1 minus. These add up to 0. Next, you are asked about lead-2 oxide. You can use the same starting point. Write out the ions. We know that lead is 2 plus as it tells us in the name. Oxygen is in group 6, so when it becomes an oxide ion, it has a charge of 2 minus. As the charges are equal and opposite, the formula can be written out simply by removing the charges, so it is PbO. The 2 plus and 2 minus charge cancel out to form a neutral compound. The correct formula is worth 1 mark. You can apply the same method for sodium sulfate, but here just be careful, as the sulfate ion contains more than 1 atom. Treat the sulfate ion as a whole and don't be tempted to alter it. Write the ions and charges down, swap and drop again, then remove the plus and minus symbols. As you can see, the formula is now Na2SO4. 2 sodium ions with a charge of 1 plus are required to cancel out the charge of the sulfate ion. You may remember that earlier in the video we mentioned the use of brackets. In this example of calcium nitrate, they are required, and we will look at why. Start by writing down the ions for the calcium and nitrate as normal, and again swap and drop. Now remove the charges, and we are left with CaNO3,2. Now this looks like there are 32 oxygen atoms in the formula, which is just not the case. We can show that there are 2 nitrate ions by adding brackets here. This again scores 1 mark. And finally, you can check your answer by adding up the charges of each of the ions in the formula and making sure they equal 0. In summary, you need to be able to write the formulae for ionic compounds. Remember that ionic compounds should be neutral in charge. If the charges are equal and opposite, the ionic formula can be written out simply. If the charges are different and opposite, you can use the swap and drop method, and you may need to include brackets. Make sure the charges from the positive and negative ions add up to 0. Don't forget to check out all our other fantastic revision resources here at Save My Exams.